Okay. Just some more thoughts about Grey's Anatomy season 6 finale before I jump into kind of recapping and reacting to season 7, because season 7 is also batshit insane in its own way. There's just so much shit like on an emotional level that I didn't cover in the last video, and I'm just like, I gotta say something now. First off, I agree with you. I feel like I barely touched on Bailey's storyline during the season 6 finale, just because there was so much ground to cover plot wise. But this was terrifying. Like, aside from Alex getting shot, the worst moment for me was when Bailey starts to get dragged back like a horror movie, and I was like, oh no, they're not gonna kill fucking Bailey right here. And then to push ahead, because I made it to season 7, episode 4 today. Today is January 13th, 2025. I will talk about that more freely later. This is about season 6 finale still. We still have more things to process. But the gas man wasn't there. He was playing golf. Like, he was just off that day. And Bailey was just giving him so much shit for it. And then she's just like, I wish, like, I'm glad that you weren't here, but I wish that you were here because I'm all broken and fucked up from this. And you're just like, you got to go golfing. So I don't know if they're like not together right now, but I could tell that Bailey just needs space. Like, she's not ready to date, and she knows she's not ready to date, so she is making herself clear, and I appreciate that. To continue with Bailey's storyline, this scene was mean. This was a mean thing for Shonda to do to us. I have been hating Dr. Percy all season because he was instrumental in getting my girl Izzy fired. And as much as like Izzy has done some fucked up things, I don't think she deserved to go out like that. So every time I saw that man, I'm like, you dirty motherfucker. And I regretted it on his deathbed. And I was just like, damn. And it's one of those things where it's like, I understand why they had to shut off the elevators because of all of the, shootout stuff. But at the end of the day, like, the elevators being off is what killed this guy. Also, Mandy Moore was incredible casting here. Like, I was just not expecting to see her here. And I feel like I should expect to see very familiar faces as guest stars at Grey's Anatomy, especially because we had very young Demi Lovato in like the episode before, maybe the one before that, because like she had like a hole in her ear and she was able to hear everything going on in her body, but then her parents didn't believe her and they thought she was schizophrenic, and I'm like, oh, that's so sad. But this was really, really, really sad. Like, all power to the actor who played Charles Percy, because to make him so hateable and to make this the moment that got me the closest to shedding a tear, good on you, sir. I hope you're out there still working. There was also this through line going with Callie in Arizona, where Callie in Arizona, they were fighting through like part 1, but then they were locked in the ER with all the kids, and they ended up like pulling the kids into a room, and then the shooter shows up, and Callie just keeps her cool, and Arizona does not keep her cool, which is absolutely understandable. And Callie does what she needs to do in order to make sure that she and Arizona and the kids survive. So she gives the guy like supplies and stuff to treat his wound, and then she gets him to move on. And at that point, they like the ground has been laid for them to get back together. And I go back and forth on them still. Like, I want to like them so badly, because Arizona, like, she's like ready to negotiate having kids now, which, okay, cool. But like the way that she talks to Callie about her bisexuality, it leaves a really bad taste in my mouth. It's not fair. Like she's not like a gold star lesbian. Leave her the fuck alone. Every time like Callie like gets up the courage or fixes her face to say anything, Arizona immediately brings it back to like her bisexuality and brings it back to the fact that Callie is capable of loving a man. And it's so unfair, and it's really, really gross. That being said, when Arizona wins, like, she really, really wins, and she's just really, really stand out as a character. So I hope she and Callie can eventually get with the program here and like get to a healthier place. To bring it back to Derek, who is kind of the reason that all of this happened. Well, not the reason, it's not his fault he got shot, but like he was the driving force for the shooter. I was truly not expecting him to get shot. And I also wasn't expecting the shooter to see Derek so early in the two-parter. I was expecting him to kind of work his way through the hospital and meet everybody else first, as Derek is working to lock down the hospital and he just keeps not seeing the shooter and the shooter keeps not seeing him. And then eventually the SWAT team takes him down right before like he's about to pull the trigger on Derek or something. That's what I expected. But what actually happens is that they meet up at the end of part one and he does shoot Derek and it does look very touch and go for a while. But like, I wasn't worried. Like, they're not killing this man. Like, they're not killing this man. Like, the whole show is built upon the Dr. Gray, Dr. McDreamy experience. I would be shocked if they killed him. Lexi also really went through it. Like I'm like she and Alex are done now. Like I'm a little bit into season 7, like I said, and Lexi apparently had like a psychotic break. She needed to be committed for a while, and now Mark is like hovering over her. Like, you fucking old ass man, let her work. She's trying to get past it. Like, stop bringing her back to that moment. I want to like Sloane with Lexi. My husband does. Like, he loves Mark Sloane. Whenever I look at him with Lexi, I'm like, oh my God, girl, get away from him. He's an old ass man. And the age thing wouldn't really be an issue for me if they were in the same life arena. Like, there are definitely people who meet, like, years and years and years apart from each other and they fall in love and it's a healthy relationship because they're in the same life arena and they're in the same stage of life or in the same career or things like that. That's okay to me. But Mark isn't just an old ass man dating a 24-year-old. He's like her boss's boss. Like, if she's like a resident, if she was like an intern when they started dating and she's a resident now, he's an attending. So he's like her boss's boss. And that feels gross to me. Like, the power imbalance sucks. And also, he gave Lexi shit for sleeping with Alex when he was in the middle of confessing to sleeping with Addison. So like, fuck off, dude. My husband was actually a little more neutral than I was on it because, like, he had reasons why he thought Sloane had a point, but, like, I don't remember them now because I was so incensed to anger for Lexi that it just, oh my God, I hated Mark in that moment. And I was kind of down for her and Alex. Like, I did think it was way too soon for Alex to be dating. But as soon as he was starting to go in and out of consciousness and he sees Lexi and he mistakes her for Izzy, I knew then that it was over. Like, I love Alex to death and I literally screamed when he got shot. I'm positive I scared my rabbit. But this man just does not need to be dating. He just needs like a single year, or these seasons are like 6 months in Grey's Anatomy time. He needs a single 2 seasons. And then at the end of it, Meredith had a miscarriage. Like, that's so sad. Completely understandable given the situation, but that was so, so, so sad. And she wasn't going to tell Derek about it because, like, she didn't think Derek was ready to hear it. But where I am in season 7, like, she did tell him and she's like, hey, like, I had a miscarriage and I didn't tell you about it because you're speeding for some reason. I say again, fuck Derek Shepherd. Like, glad you lived, but fuck you. And Meredith calls out Derek for, making her worry like that after, like, this horrible event happened. And hopefully Derek listens to her, I checked online. We're, like, on season 21. Are we going to be at the point where, like, other people's kids are going to be interns, like, later on? Like, are we far enough into the Grey's timeline where we're going to start seeing that? Like, one day we see, like, George's nephews from, like, his brothers that he couldn't stand. One of them ends up being an intern or something when George's brothers, like, have kids. Like, that could be a really cool thing, So I'm a ways into season 7 now, but I'm gonna watch a couple more episodes because I'm only, like, 2 episodes into season 7, I think. And when I get a little ways in further, I will come back and let you know what I think. But as of now, Christina and Owen are married, which I thought I would be happy about 2 seasons ago, but now I want to die and throw them both off a bridge. Alex was walking around with the bullet inside of him and Bailey made him take it out. Lexi is still recovering from her psychotic break and she's trying to tell Mark to leave her the fuck alone, and he's like leering after her anyway. Meredith is doing surprisingly well after the shootout incident, and Christina is decompensating badly. Which probably explains why she got married to Owen, like, immediately after they broke up because of the Teddy thing. So that's where I am so far, and I will continue to watch. And oh my God, this show's wild. It's such a wild ride.